Well, my game of choice, it's not actually the more known titles. It's not my background, which is Dragon Age, and also just to add, I have played the first Diablo in the 90s and maybe in the past 10 years Fallout. But then I chose to select a lesser known title, and it's called Tower of Time, which was released in 2017. I got this actually for free on GOG, and it's currently on sale for about 50 pesos and $5 on GOG. So the story of this game is you are technically the main character. You start out as a boy and he is exploring this kind of top of, let's say, an upside down tower, and he explores the area, and then suddenly a voice is starting to call out to him. He passes by some golems and they're like, oh, he's still a young kid. It's not yet, it's in, there's talking about something, it's in there but it's not yet flourished. So he goes to the end of this area and it's like a throne calling out to him saying, right now you don't understand it yet, but when you grow up you will have a strong desire to come back here. And as the story goes, the main character grows up. I don't think he has a name other than he's labeled as a hero. He grows up and rises in rank among the soldiers and the warriors. And then there comes the urge to go back to that tower. And he brings with him some soldiers, and let's say he's inferiors. And then everything comes back to him because his memories were actually kind of blurry. But once he got back to the tower, something reinvigorated him. And at the top of the tower, he is now sitting on this crystal throne where he commands and oversees his soldiers, and they need to go to the bottom of the tower because there is something there that they could not yet understand, and it might save the world because these are like dark times in this world, and it's nearing the end, but this tower might be the last resort for them to be able to save their well, not just their town but the entire world. So this tower is quite dangerous, and you learn as you go through it the history of what happened there, and that people who live there actually perished, and there's a lot more lore in this story. Going down to the bottom is the only way to save the world. The storytelling is quite cinematic. It's not much of animated stories or animated videos. It's more like if you know visual novels, modern visual novels, they just like plaster a kind of art and the narration goes as you see them. Picture maybe panning side to side. There are not much in-game dialogues except for the narrator, which is the main character, which you actually do not control at this point. In terms of the game, exploration-wise, when you go exploring, the camera is fixed and it's kind of isometric like most CRPGs are. I'm kind of a little annoyed that you only have to use the mouse and you cannot use the classic WASD keys. And maybe that's the feature of CRPGs, using the mouse. But then I have some orthopedic issues on my hand, so I'm kind of bummed that you cannot use the keyboard for this one. So game and more on the game, you do not actually gain experience here, but the level increases when you upgrade the building where the class of the character you have is upgraded. So it's not like a direct gaining of experience. It's just you upgrade the building and the characters housed in it automatically gain stats. And then you can also train characters in a different part of the city because earlier it was shown there in the video, like a city. I don't know how to describe it, but maybe think about Heroes of Might and Magic when you get to a base and you see all the different buildings there. One of the buildings is where you train your characters, and another one is you can craft and enchant your gear and weapons to improve your chances of winning battles. But there is a caveat because you only get to find maybe 1 or 2 forges per floor of the tower, and once you use the forge, it's no longer usable. So you really have to think about when to use the forges and on what weapon, because if you find another better weapon, then you just wasted the forge and the enchantments that you found. So for the battles, what's something unique here is you can see the enemies on the not map but the floor, and when you come across them, you can choose to fight them or withdraw first and think of a game plan before fighting them. Although there are some moments where you encounters ambush. So that's one you could not withdraw from. And then in the battle itself, one feature in that video you can see, some battles you get your companion locked like that. It's not all the time, but there are instances like that where you have to free them first or free them while fighting the enemies. So that's just one type of difficulty in the game. So you can see that's the isometric view. There's not other views in the battle itself, just scrolling left and right. You can pause the game, not really pause because it goes very slow motion, but like most CRPGs, you get to pause your game and think about your strategy. But here it slows down very slow, but then you have to still think fast because the enemies are still approaching you. So that's kind of a bit of a real time aspect to it. And overall, I have 12 hours in this game. Some people like me found this game a bit difficult because even the normal difficulty is challenging. Easy, it's still challenging, but kind of I would say beatable. Story mode, you can still get killed. So somebody described this as a hardcore RPG. And I ain't got no time nor the patience to play the game on even the easy level because I want to get to know the story more. I mean, it like I said before, the game is kind of beatable on easy mode, but then you get easily killed. So you really need to sit down and think about your strategies in this game. It's not something you can easily pass the time. You have to be concentrated on playing this game. But then I just want to know the story sometimes. But even the story mode, the story mode is easy, but compared to other CRPGs, it's a little bit more difficult than the others. So it's kind of frustrating that it's overpowering my investment into the story, and I'm kind of excited to either finish this game or uninstall the thing. So there are a few side quests, and I found it actually lacking. I hope there were more side quests, but then the floors are kind of small, so there's nothing much you can do around the place. You know, like other CRPGs, I want to frolic and run insignificant errands while the world ends. But this game does not afford you that enjoyment, unfortunately. So I would say this game is still worth trying to see if it's for you. And like I said earlier, it is on sale, and maybe you can try it for yourself if this is something you would enjoy, or even the difficulty you might find challenging that you actually enjoy the challenge.
It's so cool to hear someone actually utilizing the story mode because, we see that now. There's so much evolution of CRPGs, everything from where, for example, when Jose was talking about branching his characters, how he's evolved. Oh, shoot, now I can't go this path because I went that path. How
Jose,
a lot of games let you respec your characters, like in Baldur's
Mhm.
Gate 3, or in your case, AI, how, it's too hard and I just really care about the story and say have story mode. And these are things that did not exist. It's cool that a lot of them do now.
Mhm.
I've never heard of this game, so thanks for bringing it to my attention. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yes,
Oh,
it
and
was really fun.
GOG has it for $5.
It's
Steam
$2 on
has it on the
Steam.
winter sale right now for $1.99, if I remember correctly. So
40 pesos.
yes, exactly. So I think I'm definitely going to go through it myself as well. GOG is my platform of choice though, because it's they do their very best to make sure it's DRM free, and you can download the offline installer just in case, heaven forbid, in the future it all goes down. GOG, it will make sure that everything that you purchased will be available to you offline. So I'm definitely going for that. Steam likely is not going to be going that route in terms of going down anytime in the near future, not unless Gabe, crosses into the forever realm. But I mean, it's best to be ready just in case.